You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Podcast Network. Find all of our shows at wearelibertarians.com. Our goal at the Chris Spangle Show is to help you sound smarter while talking with your friends. If you struggle to understand politics, we explain it from an independent libertarian perspective with all of the irreverence modern politics deserves. We toss out the screaming heads and put people before political parties and give context to the news to make you think. I'm the host. I'm a 15-year veteran of politics and media, and this show is published every Saturday. It's part of the We Are Libertarians Network, and be sure to join WHOL Plus for bonus podcasts, the complete archives, commercial-free shows, and more. Subscribe now at wearelibertarians.com. This is Chris Spangle, host of Liberty Explained and We Are Libertarians. And when you first become a libertarian, it's really confusing. There's all these new ideas that you've never heard presented by all these people that you don't know, and it can be so hard to grasp all that quickly. But we've got you covered. Go to libertyexplained.com. We're going to break down issues. You can search the tags and find out something quickly, watch a video, or listen to a podcast from some of the top experts in libertarianism. And we also have video playlists that we've collected and a list of the top podcasts. And we even have a podcast ourselves with Julia Geyer, Levy Rainey, and myself, where we answer your questions about libertarianism. So go check it out right now, libertyexplained.com. You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Welcome to the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast. This is episode number 200 of East Central Indiana's favorite podcast. I'm Jeremiah Morrell. We are joined by an entire room full of people. I don't know what was caught off mic a moment ago, but Danny and Kade just figured out they said something in a room full of microphones that they weren't realizing. On my left is Dakota Davis, and I'm going to have him introduce the whole room because I need a minute.
Today's episode features everyone that you've seen on the show previously. It's all of the hosts talking and celebrating.
Many of the hosts. There's a few
200.
that aren't here.
This is all of them, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
We've got.
Oh no! Oh no!
Way bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Don't look right at it and you'll be fine. Dakota looked at it and we've lost him for the show.
I thought that you I thought you were going to have like a Speedo or something on that you were jerking around.
Nope. No, he thought that was funnier.
I'm not going to say who that is now. You're just going to have to wonder.
Join the Patreon and figure out what voice you didn't hear.
Zach Burcham, Jesse Riddle, Chase Python.
Not compared to that.
And Kade Koger, and then the return of the great Chris Stayton.
Hello.
Actually, you guys don't know who that is.
It's a new guy.
Yeah.
Check Patreon.
I'm still always going to call you Guffey, though. That's fine, boo-boo.
Hey, this show is about our lives.
I haven't had
Indiana.
that long in such a long time.
We're here to push your boundaries and make you think as individuals. Sometimes we'll provoke you. Other times we'll make you laugh. But hopefully you'll always learn something new.
Definitely provoke.
They provoked Dakota.
That was unprovoked.
We had a sign that says the number of days since we've seen that, and now it's got to go back to 0. And I thought Chase was going to be the one that was going to take us there, but it was not. So,
congrats, Chase.
Thanks, man. It was hard work.
Wow. This is the second time Chase has been with us in the last month. This is pretty cool. Very hard. Oh man! So Chase surprised us. He was not here through Patreon. He just comes walking through the door.
Yep.
Well, I was planning on interrupting the middle of the show, and I timed it wrong.
Well, we went a little long. It's not like you could have the ability to watch us and know what we were doing. Did you get some of the Patreon cake?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
No, did you get cake?
No.
You want some cake?
No, I had Lee's before I came here, and I really have to shit.
Good decision. Lee's is always the best.
All right.
I like Lee's better than Popeyes. I'm not afraid to say it.
Well, we don't have a Popeyes, so it is what it is. The Lee's chicken drive-through line tonight was backed up to Trojan Lane. It was incredible.
Well, it's the best chicken around. It's
very popular.
Also,
and you can't go in. So
no one talks about
KFC.
it, but Lee's also has the best honey mustard. It beats the shit out of anyone else's honey mustard.
Lee's is the only chicken restaurant that I will go to and get honey mustard and not ranch.
Yep.
It's that good.
You need a microphone, buddy.
Yeah, the bonsai is good too.
Yeah. Their bonsai sauce is good. Nothing like the honey mustard.
Yeah.
We have some people to thank before we get too far off track. Patreon.com/Boss Hog of Liberty. That's where you can go and support the show every month. Monthly donation. Those are the folks who make sure that the bills are paid around here. We have rent to pay in the studio. We have an electric bill. We have internet to pay for. We have
with the number of bodies in here, it's very warm though.
We've got a lot of things to pay for, and the folks on patreon.com/Boss Hog of Liberty, those are the people who make it happen. You can sign up at different tiers. They start at $5 or more a month, and you get access to a super secret Facebook group. You get access to the show notes before the show even happens, so you can follow along in real time. And then if you donate at $50 or more a month, then we promise to give you a shout out at the front of each and every episode. Those folks are Mr. Chris Lamb.
I got this one.
All right.
The next one is Chrissy Avery. The only reason I came here today is to say this. Over the 200 episodes we have done, Chrissy Avery still sucks ass.
She's a donor.
Very good way. She sucks ass, and the Lions still suck ass.
Hey man, they got the pretty boy playing quarterback for them now, don't they? Sunshine?
He's not even that pretty.
Isn't or not Sunshine? The cornerback from Friday Night Lights or the other football movie.
The Rams quarterback,
Yeah.
Jared Goff.
Yeah,
He sucks.
looks just like Ryan Gosling, who played.
I'd rather have Andy
DB.
Dalton. That's who I wanted the whole time anyway. It's not Russell Wilson.
I read online today. Today's April 1st. I read that you guys were getting the Russell Wilson.
So, funny story about that, Jer. My friend, I'm working, and I'm in the basement, and I don't have very good cell reception, right?
I'm listening. I'm just trying to get producer Chris to turn
Okay.
it up.
I don't
He forgot how to do this job. He doesn't.
I don't have good
was
cell
doing his job. I was
reception, and
watching.
I get a text from my friend that says, "Congrats, Chaz," because that's what my friends call me. That's my gay name in Florida. And it's a picture of Russell Wilson going to the Bears. And I don't know it's April Fool's.
Right.
I'm like,
You're
yeah,
unaware
that's
of the
awesome.
calendar.
So I'm trying to go on Twitter to see if it's actually true. And yeah.
Snowing too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was like, "Hey, it's also snowing." I can't refresh Twitter. It's not refreshing. And then I get to lunch, and I was very disappointed.
I've called. Did they call you Chaz? That's the only thing I got out of that story.
My
I've
gay
called
name
you-
in Florida is Chaz.
I've called you Chase Python since we were like freshmen in high school.
We do need to also note that we did pick up another fantastic patron today. Very first week with
Also
us.
a gay name.
I like that one better.
Mark Rutherford. We welcome Mark. I know. Yeah, I don't know.
Bad timing. I was talking about Chase, not.
Yeah, okay. And we've been told that Anthony Meyer has completed his GoFundMe. He has his
That's right.
truck. He's accomplished his dreams. So it's the end of the Anthony Meyer
Let's give
conversation.
him a round of applause. We also have T-Chip stores. That's where you can get your Boss Hog Liberty merchandise. tchip.com/BHOL1234 or BHOL mug. The first four are all clothing. The fourth one is actually masks.
This is the last week we have to do all the links because I heard that Jesse was going to be setting us up with a Bitly or whatever the hell it is,
like a link tree,
a link tree, and we're going to go straight to it. So they're all going to. That's going to be taken care of.
Can
by
we put
next
my
week.
OnlyFans on there as well?
Oh man, how much do you charge a month?
I'm not cheap.
Tree fitty.
Well, I mean, is there a promo right now?
$20
you
is
do like
$20,
the yes.
but if you're a Patreon member, you can get it for $5.
Listen, I don't know what he puts on the OnlyFans, but I get a lot of porta potty Snapchats from Chase. So it seems like it's probably worth it.
Depends on which side, from which side of the seat is the important part.
Yeah. You have a brother who is a construction worker, so I'm sure you've seen porta potty pictures. They're disgusting. They're the most horrible.
I also go to the Indy 500,
porta
which means I've
potties-
seen some porta pots.
These are different. Whenever I first started construction.
You've never been to an Indy 500. You don't know the terror.
I went into the porta pots for the first time on a construction job, and I thought, my God, every single stereotype about construction workers is absolutely true.
And my brother has talked about, like that people will just like spread stuff all over the walls and just they do their best
I
to
have a
mess them
question
up.
for you. Oh, sorry. You go.
Go
Sorry.
ahead.
I'm new here.
Chase, this is 200, man.
I know.
200. You've done like 60
Would
of
you
them.
rather use a porta potty when it's freezing cold out in the winter or in the middle of the day in the summer?
Freezing cold.
Yeah.
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 No,
Yeah.
absolutely not. In the
Are you serious?
in the heat, dude. Yeah.
How many times have you shit in a porta potty in the middle of the
You were
summer?
in Afghanistan.
I
When did it
guarantee
get
you more
cold?
times than everybody here combined.
Probably true.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you
Thank you
what.
for
Hold on.
service.
Hold on. I'll tell you this. I jacked off in a 100-degree porta john, so sweat acts as lube. It's really nice.
I mean, I thought
Wow,
I was a professional,
it
but
7:49 p.m. We apologize to the
Kirsten's
kids
kids
at
are
home.
in bed. I'll tell you one thing.
It's
though.
spring break.
On a
Maybe they weren't listening.
On a super hot day, you go into a porta pot and they're insufferable. But then, no matter how hot it is outside, when you walk back out of it, it's refreshing.
It is.
It's the most bizarre thing. I mean,
It's like
95
a
degrees.
poo-scented sauna.
it feels so good once you walk out.
Yeah.
But I sweat a lot anyways. So
I'm watching-
if I'm spending 5 minutes or 20 minutes in that porta potty, because most of the time I don't even go in there to poop. I'm just on my phone.
I'm
Don't
watching
tell
the
my-
live chat, and it says, "This is the best part." Hey, Danny, I heard you off in the distance.
But cold's the way to go.
Or,
was
or Aaron
just-
Dickens, like pre 8 p.m. Difficult conversations from him.
Thanks for your service, Chris.
Oh, we have not explained the attire. Justin Kelly is in the chat wondering why. Are we giving out awards? What's going on?
We're celebrating 200 BHOLs.
200 B-holes. We've achieved it. We have as
Chrissy
many.
Avery sucked them all.
There's been as many Boss Hog of Liberty episodes as Richard Petty wins. We've tied him. Next week we break the King's record. Yeah, the entire chat is complaining that it's not 8 o'clock yet, Chris. They
Sorry.
are very worked
I'm new
up.
here.
They are
I'm new
very
here.
worked up. You've forgotten the rules. You've forgotten what we do.
Christopher Stayton. That's
You're
one
getting yelled at.
Getting
All
yelled
right,
at
I'm going to
cat
try to
box.
put just a little bit. We're going to put us back on track for just a second here. Do a little bit of story time, and then and we'll see where the show goes. Vaccine update. We've been
Did
following
you really
this.
put vaccine update into our
I
celebration
stuck
episode?
it in there because they.
Why would you
stuck
do
it
that?
in me today? I got my shot. I'm in right here. Punch
You're
me
in the
right
club.
here. You'll punch me right here in my Pfizer bone.
That's all right.
I got it on the left side. Did you do yours yet?
No.
No. You're now you're anti-vaxxer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been bragging about how you can get it anytime you want to, and now that you can, you're not going to do it.
I don't think I need it.
So that's the question, Danny. The guy over there behind the camera said, "How many people in the room have gotten it?" I got it today.
I got. Oh,
Gotten COVID? Correct. Well, I think one. Kade got the COVID. He got the Rona.
And I'm still here to talk about it.
I don't know what he's saying.
I drank after my mom when she was contagious, and I never got it.
It's because you chew tobacco.
It's probably true.
Keeps you from getting the worms too. So I got my shot today. Zach got his this week. Producer Stayton, you decided to get one
Yeah, I got a text message at like 4:15 yesterday.
from your personal concierge down at the hospital.
Yes, my nurse, and she was like, "We have extra shots. You want one?" And I wasn't going to get one, but Paige and I talked with her condition. We decided that I should probably get one. So that's how it decided. And I got it stuck in the arm, and it hurts like a mofo. I'm not going to cuss.
Do you not get
before 8 o'clock?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you can get that back now. You can reel it back in.
We're reeling it slowly.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you had a lot of shots, Chris? You did your tour overseas. It's no different than those, right?
Oh, I've had
You had to have all kinds of
ridiculous amounts
immunizations
of
for the
shots.
Army.
Yeah, absolutely. But I didn't want to get this one, but I did.
So you have to go back. Mine is scheduled for 3 weeks to the day in Rushville. So I'll get my next one on the 22nd. And then by May 6th, I should be fully ready for any size crowd, potentially 250,000 to 300,000 people Memorial Day weekend. I'm ready. I'm ready to jump back in the pool, full depth.
Sarah Morrell, your wife.
Oh, yeah, I'm familiar with her.
She sent me an invitation on my Google Calendar to her vaccine appointment.
She sent it to you?
Yeah. I don't know why.
We have Chase Python and Danny Anaconda.
This is going to be a very difficult show. Dakota is not going to make it. Dakota, it helps if you just don't look directly into the camera. If you do that, you'll be fine. Just ignore.
Stare into the light. Dakota, stare into the light.
Just don't look that way, and you'll be fine no matter what you do. You'll be fine.
God.
Oh, boy, people. You know, episode 199, we had 3 elected officials on the show. And this shows the full range of the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast. that you also get some debauchery.
So funny.
And
We should have started the show at 8 o'clock. It's like not a moment.
oh, it's 7:54. And if you are a podcast listener, I strongly encourage
Find the video.
you to never watch the video because you're going to just be troubled by all of it.
Danny's got shredded hamstrings.
Oh my god!
Earlier, he was standing there with one shoe on. I was like, and it's just gotten worse.
Hey, Dakota, do I smell good? Can you smell me real quick?
Smell like chewing tobacco.
Fuck.
Smell like wintergreen.
Well, that is what I chew. No, I ran out of deodorant earlier this morning and I went and got any. So after I showered, I just bathed myself in Axe. So I think Katie's going to find me irresistible.
It's like you were 16 again.
Yeah.
Probably the same can of Axe that you've had since you were 16.
All right.
I haven't bought a can of Axe in a
it's like
long
Worcestershire
time.
sauce. No one ever has to buy a second one.
I go through one a month.
All right, I got to go.
Worcestershire
It's
all
nice
the time.
seeing you guys.
Wait, we're gonna need to stop to take a picture. One group picture. We're gonna push. We're gonna leave the show going. But we're
We don't have to.
we're literally gonna take.
We have to do the picture off.
No. All right, we're gonna continue on. Chase, goodbye.
It's so it looks like a baby's arm holding an apple.
Danny, will you quickly take a picture from over there before Chase leaves, and we'll use that one.
I'm not good. If he takes a picture, I'm not looking at. I'm not making eye contact with him. Nobody's looking.
Oh, I knew it was going to be a bit of a mess. I want you to hand that to Danny. Danny, you stay behind the camera, and we'll let. How are you ever going to leave?
There are children at the other end of the video, so please stay behind the camera.
We're smiling for the picture. This is only going to get worse.
In front of the camera.
We're taking this picture.
Great radio.
Wow. All right. Dakota took one for him. He just walked all the way up. Oh my God. All right. So, Chase, thank you. You're awesome. We love you.
Love you, brother.
It's off, so it's not a big deal.
Oh, it's so horrible. Everything has gone so horribly. Pull the
Okay.
cord through and you'll have it. All right. So,
Do the notes.
I got challenged and said I can't be a libertarian anymore, Dakota, Kade, anybody that's listening. Because I got the shot. I have to turn in my card because I got the COVID shot. Is it too political now? Been praying for this thing for a year, hoping it was going to happen, and now that it's here, I shouldn't have done it because it's not good. Dakota, can you compose yourself? Are you alive?
I haven't looked up there. I don't know what's happened since I took the blast.
I don't look up there. It's fine. I am trying to host a podcast. And you guys just aren't helping.
If this is your first episode watching Boss Hog of Liberty, this is not the normal podcast. Please tune in next week for our normally scheduled program.
I will say next week it's going to be a family show. It's going to be Brittany Dickin, and Aaron Dickin, and Carrie Barrett. We're going to talk about Newcastle downtown, and it's going to be great. It's a children's author. It's the first time we've ever had a children's author on. It's going to be a great.
Is there going to be a
great family episode?
Danny can't be here. Is there going to be a great?
Not within 1,000 feet.
He's not able to go within like 500 feet of several types of buildings and people.
All right. One question I did want to ask is, I know that Zach's been listening for a long time. Kade, you've been listening for a really long time. Have you gone back and listened to any of like the very first episodes that we've done?
I have. I've gone back and listened to the first 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. We're finding our way. I think after about episode 4, we finally started to figure out what we were going to be. I distinctly remember, I think, Jesse, you were there on the very first episodes, recording in my office upstairs.
And by the pool.
And you did some poolside episodes, but we started on paper plates. We just had a couple of themes, and I wrote them on paper plates.
Oh, I don't remember that.
There were no show notes. There was nothing. We were just figuring it out as we go. Don't look up there, Zach. That's the key.
I have it. Don't
look up there.
I'm doing real good.
He's taking a selfie. He's taking a selfie.
Remember in Patreon when you said the lighting and you just don't feel good about your body? Somebody doesn't have that problem.
He doesn't have the proper downlighting.
So paper plate.
He just sent it to me on Snapchat.
The best part is the bow tie.
And Christy Avery asked if he still had the bow tie on. And I was like, just.
Around.
I mean, for 801, we say we could swear, but I don't think we can. I don't think we can
ever do what he's talking about.
I think we would get deplatformed faster than
200 is going to be it. It's going to be over.
It's a crash and burn.
We are going to be back to audio only for the rest of our lives.
We would go from in our safe little thing to getting deplatformed faster than Spangled. Dear leader would be like, "What happened to you guys?" And like, well, one day. Just
one day and some bow ties.
He said, "Can I come sit with you guys?"
Clothes, please.
Okay, all right.
So plates.
I'm going to say we've come a long way. Our professionalism has gone through the roof. We figured out how to put together a top end show. In the face of adversity, we always answer the bell, Dakota. Through a pandemic,
Professionalism,
through anything that's gone wrong, we've always been able to make it work.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We've faced some serious adversity.
200 episodes, Dakota. Which one's the most memorable for you?
This one, absolutely.
I was going to say this one's going to be mine.
On what I was going to say.
Kade, how are you getting home? Because I don't think he can drive you.
I don't know. I'll hitchhike.
What I was going to answer this question with is that I liked the episodes that whenever I was writing the show notes, I had to learn whenever I was doing the research formula. So like whenever Steve Horwitz came on and we had to really research a topic because he was an expert in that field, then I really enjoyed those types of episodes. But like also on the other hand, basically any episode that Mark Brim has been on has been my favorite.
And yet you still can't get him here.
It's okay. He's hard to get.
Mark is very difficult to book.
That's why he's one of my favorites.
I was going to say
Because he's a special treat, like the kick.
You've done some episodes with Mark now, at least one, right?
No.
He wasn't on with you a couple weeks ago?
No.
You know,
I've met Mark once. And,
The important thing to note is that Mark is only 32 years old.
but I've only met Mark
He's
once,
38.
and we were doing like some canvassing or something. So
Yeah.
There's only one Mark Brim.
yeah, he
There's
was in
just
the back
one.
seat, and that's all I remember.
I
I try not to remember canvas days.
The chat room is reminding us how good the Ghost Pepper episode was.
Yeah.
How memorable that was.
So I have, that was one of the questions. If you're in the if you're a Patreon member, then you get access to a Patreon group. And I asked today, what are some of our listeners' favorite episodes? And a lot of them happened to say it was whenever we happen to be eating things.
They do like the eating.
We have two themes on the show, and it's really hot things that put us in pain.
Yes.
And then also pickle flavor things because I love pickle.
We have done the pickle. You want another pickle beer for your 200th episode? Because we got one left.
No, I hate them.
Really hot things that put you in pain. So Danny,
So it's true. I had so Elle Dickin, whose mother is going to be on the podcast
On next week.
They're having a fundraiser, so I got some things that kind of fit with our eating theme.
Okay.
On the show, I got.
So this is not Boy Scout popcorn, Zach. Is this Girl Scout popcorn?
No, it was a school fundraiser.
School fundraiser. Okay, not scouting related in any way.
And I don't know. How many
habanero.
people know this. I don't know how many people know this, except for the people that like know my daily life, which would be my one coworker and my wife. But I eat popcorn every day. I love popcorn. It's one of my favorite foods.
I love popcorn as well.
I eat a bag of it after I work out every day.
It's a pretty good snack.
It's a great snack. It's low in calories. Like, get some Orville Redenbacher Smart Pop.
Yep, I got a whole big plastic jar of it at home.
Oh, it's so good.
And then you can dress it up with some things that are like herbs and stuff that are not as bad for you.
Yeah, I like to
Not
put some
necessarily
chili
this.
powder in there.
Yeah, chili powder's good.
They also have the kettle corn kind, which I get if I'm feeling kind of sweet.
I've recently
I love kettle corn.
Speaking of popcorn, I've recently done the what is it called when you like separate like the butter and make like ghee. So I made like ghee for the first time.
Yeah.
So that's how like movie theater butter is like the ghee essentially of the butter or whatever. I can't remember what it's called. Like there's like a more proper term for it, but
I didn't know that.
yeah. So
Clarified butter? Is that what they say?
Clarified butter, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Is it good?
Yeah, like so you can just put your butter in like a little pot or whatever, and then pull the fat up off the top, and then put that and store that, and you can reheat that butter and use that to pour over. And that's where all the butter flavor comes from.
I mean, listen to this.
I will congratulate you all because I never thought we were getting this back on track. I'm so proud of you.
1 2/3 of a cup of this popcorn is only 160 calories. It's so good.
Pretty good. Yeah, my official when I was working in the
It's
office,
got all
I
kinds
work
of food.
overtime. My official snack was go back, pop myself a bag of popcorn.
I love it. But anyway, did I say what kind of popcorn we have?
You
No,
have,
I read
Texas
habanero.
cheddar
I
habanero.
yelled habanero.
and then
I have Texas cheddar habanero.
I've been trying to figure out what this one
put a
is.
little bit on each one here, and we'll.
It says
try.
we combine our special blend of habanero peppers
Sure.
with a touch of cheddar, creating the most delicious taste of heat.
So for people who are not listening and they're not sponsors of the show, you can do some school-sponsored popcorn, or if you're ever in the east side of Indianapolis, you can go to, sorry, not thinking, the Cornville Popcorn in the Washington
Hey, what's
Square
up,
Mall.
Danny?
And they have some pretty
Hey, Danny
fire
Morrell just got
popcorn,
here.
too.
Hey, where have you been?
Oh, I parked cars.
Parking cars.
The other popcorn I got, if you haven't guessed, is
Here's
dill
one
pickle.
more plate for you, Jer. Whoa, well, we're not going to use that one. Actually, it landed on the right side. You're fine.
Be fine.
You got your COVID vaccine anyway.
I got one in me and one to go.
This smells delicious, just so the listeners know. There's
Well,
there's a
there's-
heavy cheese flavor.
There's no mistaking the dill pickle one.
No.
Christopher Stayton, would you like some?
No, thank you. I'm doing.
Are you
well
also
here.
not a popcorn guy?
It's
What are you? What kind of guy are
What do you eat?
Yeah,
tacos.
yeah.
Burritos.
we've already
He has the
talked
Taco
about
Bell.
that. Whoa.
There is a heavy dill flavor, no doubt.
Yeah.
The dills are good. So dill's one of my favorite ingredients people underuse.
Me too.
There's some like a place in Irvington that did dill fries.
We did dill pizza on here
delicious.
about 2 months ago.
One of my favorite pizzas at Giacomo's was called a Cuban, and they used mustard for the base, and then chopped up pickles. It was really good, and then like ham and stuff. It was delicious as a pizza.
I've lost all concept of time and space. Are we ready for final
Giacomo's.
thoughts?
Was that for the crust or was that for the topping?
No, the crust was regular, but they would do like a mustard base for the sauce, and then they'd put ham and like cheese and something else, and then they would cut up pickle and like throw pickle on it and bake it.
Habanero's got
I'm sure
some
that was
kick.
great.
It's wonderful. Is it good to mix the habanero with the pickle?
That's up to you.
Don't
man.
ever put your pickle in a hot pot place, man.
No, that's up to him. Don't tell him what
That's
to
my
do.
pickle.
You own your body.
Exactly.
I'm gonna grab a second water because I'm a wuss, and I should have eaten the hot ones first.
Wow, those are hot.
Yeah, they do.
If there's extra water, Zach, please bring one.
Should be a whole case of it over on the table.
Well, it's running low.
Be a good appetite suppression snack.
Pickles are really good for that.
Yeah, they are. Darren Jacobs actually told us that. Darren, if you don't know, has lost a bunch of weight.
So
He's half of the man he was when he started.
How do I buy this?
You call it Aaron Dickin.
The fundraiser's over.
Well,
Because Audrey got upset with me because I was like, my popcorn's here in the mail. And she's like, I love popcorn. And I was like,
It's not for you.
Not
I-
this, but
I didn't get anything for you.
Can't believe she didn't just show
So
up.
I was like, she's like, really? This really sucks. And I was like,
Can we find out
I'll
who-
just get on
can we
the
find out who sources
website and
it?
get you some. This fundraiser has ended. Anyway,
if you're selling popcorn, call Jesse.
It's hard to keep up with all the fundraisers kids are doing now.
this is what
It appears
I will
as though
be a
you can go
return
to the
customer.
website, Poppin' Popcorn, and you can order everything that you want.
is it true?
I'm looking.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Bill?
I'm amazed at some of the stuff now that like flavoring stuff. My wife got chips that were like prime rib and horseradish, I think, and I was like, these can't be good. And they weren't. Somebody might eat them. It's like the horseradish though came through very strong. It's like, how do they make this taste like something it's very clearly not? Like this is prime rib and horseradish out of a lab, but they're doing a pretty good job.
Right.
One of
So
my
how
favorite-
how far do you think they are away from making that a delicious meal without having to spend $40 and you can just
And
do $3
they
worth
probably
of
could do it
snacks?
now. It's just whether or not you're going
This
to
is
grow
a
a
great
third eye.
This is a great idea right now. We're going to pull the room. A fancy, you said a delicious meal, Danny. So a delicious meal or an expensive dinner is $40. What's an expensive going out dinner to you? A good out dinner price
Just per head?
Yeah, per person, per plate.
$75 a person is
75?
expensive to me. Like that's a fancy meal. Normal
Because if Mark
is-
Brim was here, he'd say $7.99.
normal to me would be $12 to $18 a person. And then expensive would be about $75 a head.
Kade,
Yeah, I guess normal would probably be 20 to $30 a person.
yeah, you go to
And
Peaks King, it costs you like $38 a
Yeah.
person. Yeah,
expensive would probably be $100 a head.
Yeah.
Staten,
Yeah, I'd say probably normal for us is about $15 to $20 for just a regular meal for us, but 75, 80, probably the expensive side if we don't drink beer or if we don't drink anything.
Jesse, what is it? Is that consistent with you? Are you a? Do you ever go out for an $80 dinner, or you I go out for a $30 dinner every night?
Well, I went out this week and had myself a $50 dinner by myself. But I would say like 80 is definitely reaching where I'm like, yeah, we're probably overpaying.
Yeah, 80 you're like,
I'm like,
Dakota,
She
there's
better
no
put
stripping.
out.
I don't want you taking any clothes off on this show.
You might-
you'll derail everything.
It's been too hot.
you might influence other people. But yeah, no, I think $80 is reaching the line of where I've never had any food that I think is worth $80. And I think that's my problem.
Oh, I have.
I don't eat seafood though. So, and I think that's where a lot of money can get spent. And I don't do it. I don't eat it. Like,
but have you ever had a meal that you would have gone hungry without and not spent $80?
no.
If you were super hungry?
Exactly. No, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I would, if I'm hungry and like
Like shit, we're getting weird.
Yeah, we're just gonna make some. We're gonna buy some food. This is really expensive.
Here's what I think is worth an $80 meal. To me, it's something that I can't cook myself in any capacity.
That's almost every meal for me.
I don't know how to make a beefy cheese burrito. So
I can't even
$80.
make this popcorn.
A
This is
steak,
premium popcorn.
Fucking good
like
popcorn.
a steak going to Ruth's Chris, St. Elmo's. If I buy a filet mignon
An LNK filet mignon.
Yeah. From
got you,
LNK,
Cam.
from the fresh counter at Knightstown, wherever.
Only from LNK.
A piece of good fresh beef, and I grill it, reverse sear it, and top it off with a pat of butter. It's just as good as Ruth's Chris or St. Elmo's.
Yeah, but do you make a good lemon drop? Because I know the lemon drop you can get down at the.
Well, that's what he's. I think that's what
St.
he's getting
Elmo's.
at, though.
But
is-
what I'm getting at is like what I was talking about earlier with the veal tongue. I wouldn't even know where to begin in cooking veal tongue. But if I go to a nice fancy restaurant, I'm going to spend $50 or $60 a person on the meal, then it's absolutely worth it to me to try something like that.
Cooking veal is actually what I've learned from watching MasterChef is that is really hard to actually cook. So I know there's probably people around here that can cook it well because we do a lot of veal, but
Well, and once again, I'm going to plug Carnegie's because the chef down there, he owns a restaurant, but he also trained in Florence, Italy.
Kate has
yeah,
that kid
yeah,
skills.
He's a real chef.
Right. He's been trained, properly trained.
Yeah. So
His beer list is terrible, but everything else is great.
Beer list isn't great, but the reason I go there is because I know that his special is going to be something different and unique that I can't get anywhere else.
Right.
I go there for his nightly special.
Yeah.
To be like, what's going to be on here?
Yeah. Yeah,
Anyway.
I've never been there yet.
I'm pretty passionate
It's on my
about that
list
place.
about it.
Yeah. It's too expensive for me to go very often because I'm a middle class person.
I got the vaccine. That was me sneezing the virus out.
Good.
I expelled it.
This popcorn, by the way, can we just say is absolutely fantastic.
I'm going to say that Cade wants it more than Danny because I did the throw across. By the way, doing it underneath the mic stand, impossible.
Like
I was told they were converting the doughboy to throw popcorn at the geese.
I love that.
I've heard that rumor.
Is that true?
I can't not confirm, but
Do you
I've
have to
heard
put
it.
in a quarter and then the doughboy throws the popcorn?
Yeah.
Seems fair.
Does it make a loud boom also? Because that would also be a good idea.
If you put $10 in, it'll throw a grenade of popcorn.
That would be
Nice.
killer. Yeah. You know how long
At
the line would
$40
be
is
to
a
see
real
the doughboy
grenade.
if it was tossing
Fuck
popcorn.
them geese. Watch out, kids.
Yes, but who gets the money? That's the question.
We don't care. We're blowing up.
If I could shoot real grenades, I would go broke in a weekend. Like, screw going to the casinos. This is where I'm dumping my money.
So what you're proposing? This is one of the themes of the Boss Hog Liberty podcast. We're working in here, by the way. What you're proposing is geese hunting permits in Memorial Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think Jesse Riddle for county
Yeah,
commissioner next time. That's pretty good.
Grenade kills only.
It might be very popular.
Grenade kills only, though.
There's a cannon on the hill that's been fixed up recently.
That's what we're talking about, the doughboy, right? So we're saying that you put money in the doughboy to shoot popcorn,
Yeah.
and then if you put in money to shoot a grenade, a popcorn of $10. I said for 40, it would shoot a real grenade.
And then we could load the cannon with nails and go that route.
Do not send your children to the park anymore.
All right, let's start to wind this up a little bit. It's 8:15. We want to keep this somewhat brief tonight because it's been a very non-traditional episode. Obviously, what have been our favorite episodes? Everybody in here has been a part of this show for a long time. Some since the very beginning. Zach's got a totally different view of it, having watched about 40 of the first episodes from across a road somewhere north or south of Q. I guess north of Q. Zach, what's formative? What's been your favorite so far watching this?
Oh yeah, the Peppers episode was pretty hilarious, and it was odd for me because I was watching it and I knew it was going on across the street, which was kind of hilarious. It was interesting just back in the day just to see all the people coming through, seeing Jonathan Lamb's truck roll into the neighborhood and just see all these people. I was like, this is so weird. All these people are rolling through our neighborhood. And then Mark Brim episodes were great. The first Travis Wyke episode, and there's one, I can't remember if it was the first or second, where he brought different hats for the different.
In here, he wore different hats. His first episode, he was like an hour and a half late. We were trying to wrap up, and he would have hear no part of it.
No part of it. Yeah, it was. I think it was like the longest episode
It was
ever.
with Darren Jacobs.
Yeah,
That
we were
episode
done.
was
We were
like-
all trying to be done. I think we were at my poolside, maybe. Was that a poolside episode?
It was like 3.5 hours long.
We were desperate to be done, and then Travis rolled in,
Just
and he
would
wanted
not
us
stop.
entire.
And it was
a double header.
And it was hilarious. It was like,
Thank God Dakota wasn't married yet, because he would have been in trouble.
That one.
Darren's Day? You say it was a Darren?
No.
episode?
It was Darren. It was Darren.
No, I said the Darren's Day.
Darren left early.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It was
just
basically
saying,
like
that'd be
doing two
crazy.
episodes in one.
That's fine.
yeah, it was pretty hilarious. Because Travis is a great guy. Yeah, he just was not having any part of that, and he like left a hat here because he brought all his hats. So it's hard for me. Some of them, like they started, especially when I started hanging around, they start to blend all together because I'm kind of scrambling around sometimes.
Try
in the
remembering
background.
all 200 you've been a part of.
Yeah, and I listened or watched all of them.
How did you guys meet?
How did?
You two. Hey, Danny over here.
Yeah.
Nice of you to join us.
Welcome, sir.
I was busy doing calisthenics. How did Jared and Jeremiah meet?
How did Jer and Jeremiah meet?
Zach. and Jeremiah.
I want to hear Zach answer that.
I mean, I can't even quite remember, but I think it was just from him hanging around,
Being across the street.
being across the street. Yeah, because I would walk over and talk to Dakota, and then I figured out they were doing the podcast, and I would listen to it, and so then they would come outside and be hanging out sometimes after the shows would be over, and I'd pop outside and talk about what things I liked and stuff like that, and so I'd chit chat with them, and then at some point Jeremiah figured out I liked IndyCar, and then it was on.
No.
So
Well, I always find this kind of thing being interesting when I listen to podcasts of how people met and how they got involved. Obviously, Jeremiah and I are brothers.
Yeah, quite some time now.
Is that
Yeah.
how you guys met?
Like 35 years. Yeah.
It's been, listen, Jesse, I had the top bunk.
Yeah.
I was with him through puberty, and I felt that.
I felt like I've been with you through puberty.
Well, I'm a late bloomer.
I also went through Danny in his I'm not throwing anything away phase, and there was a point in time when the top bunks were split and the mice were just living under his bed.
Well, okay. So moving on. You and Jesse, Jeremiah, how'd you guys meet?
I believe our parents told us we had to be friends.
I'm trying to think. How did we meet? I think I met your
It's been-
mom. I
it's
met your
been-
mom.
it's
Well,
been well
I
over
met
10
your mom
years.
and dad before I met you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because it was all through the Libertarian Party stuff.
Your pops passed away
Yep.
a little over a year ago.
Yes, a year and a half
Yeah.
ago.
I'm super sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
And I hope that you've been able to
Wow,
find
this is
something.
This is not the best.
No.
bit.
No, I know. That's super sad. There's nothing to
is.
say that is comforting, but
This is the part where if you were listening to Bob and Tom, you'd hear the producer hit the button and say, "There's nothing funny down that road."
Yep. Sorry about that, Jesse.
We're good.
So let's talk about your memorable episodes. You were in the very formative early on stuff.
I just said this was it. This is it.
And then other 1 through 199 are the only eligible ones. And then we're going to get back to you. We're going to talk about your memorable ones in a minute.
no, I'm angry now.
Do you have more? Do you have more?
I mean, this kind of reminds me of some of the early Tanner Purdue episodes too. 'Cause you kind of had to there's like some, no, I was like, I don't think you should be, no. And they're like, and that's when everything turned into brisket, everything, like the entire time. We
I
lived,
forgot
You
about the
smoke it
brisket
for
stuff.
13 hours,
I forgot about
and
the
then
brisket
you
stuff.
wrap it.
brisket wireless.
Brisket.
that's
Those were pretty funny. Just
We
because
still
of-
call it Brisket Wireless, and I am still a
I'm
happy
s-
customer.
Thanks to
Tanner,
me.
Tanner has moved on to other employment, but I am a Brisket Wireless customer. So is Jesse. So my entire
I was a Brisket Wireless
my wife,
customer before
yeah.
that. Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's-
was trying to convince you to become a Brisket
working
Wireless
great.
customer. It's a great service.
It's working well. As long as you can deal with 8 meg speed, you're fine, and I get along just fine. I'm a super user, and I get all I need. So you were anyway, Jesse. You
Can I
were
just
here.
break this chair?
You were here early on, probably for the first 20 or 30, and then in the last 10 to 15 episodes, you've been a regular contributor again.
Yeah.
You had a gap there, but we're back.
Apparently, well, for a while.
We've renegotiated your contract, and you're back.
We're going to start taking breaks, but yeah. My Thursday nights are pretty sacred, but I've allocated some time here.
These have been fun.
I've just been playing footsie with Zach for a while.
Well, I'm just watching because every time he rocks this way, I can see his mic cord.
He's about
get
ready to
pulled
take
almost-
out.
He's about ready to take the board off.
No fun here. There's no fun. here.
He's
chairs-
rolling through an entire.
his
I'm a
chairs-
300
Everything's
dude
going to go off
rolling
the air
around.
in a minute.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right,
But yeah,
Danny. What memorable ones did you have? Danny and Dakota are sharing, and it's a mess over here.
A lot of popcorn crumbles on it. I enjoyed.
You have to talk into the mic, or you're going to start sounding like a county commissioner, man.
I enjoyed actually speaking of commissioner. I enjoyed the one with Butch Baker a lot. I thought that was a lot of fun. This has been absolutely a joke for me and a joy. Multiple people can say why, but I mean, it's just cool to share and join and help out the community and just have fun.
Yeah, it has been. I've enjoyed. We'll call it Kade. We'll call it playing with elected officials that have been on here because we've had really very real conversations. But in this show, especially as we've had candidates on and elected officials, getting them to go beyond the comfort zone of these are the issues we're talking about, and learning their personalities and learning how they think. And I think this show has been a way into that and to create a long form conversation with them to actually develop relationships and show our listeners how they actually operate.
I think that's very accurate. Most people forget that the people that are in charge are still humans, and they don't realize that. Go.
I thought you were
Dakota's
done.
going to co-host again. Thank
What I
God.
was going to say was that it was something that I've thought about a lot as the podcast has evolved into what it is now. How it went from, it started out, we didn't know what we were doing, so it had to be an interview show so that we became more comfortable behind the mics. And then after that, we went through a period where it was kind of like we were covering politics, local politics, really hardcore, and super magnifying glass on it. We were trying to catch anything wrong that a local politician did. Well, at the same time, we were also constantly doing interview shows. So we were always talking and meeting with the people that we were talking to. And you realize they're human. And we just have a system that happens to be a good system, but because it's ran by humans, it is flawed in the most human ways. And there needs to be some grace there whenever you're dealing with local politicians, especially because they're just normal people. They're normal people who have, no matter what disagreement you have with them, it's a normal person who cares about their community, so they decide to try to step up and fill a role and do something about the issues that they care about. Whether you disagree, and we've had those disagreements very publicly on the show many times, but at the core of it, that's what it is, and you have to respect the person for stepping in to try to do something about an issue that they care about. So even though you might look at the person and go, I don't know that I like the reason that you're in the position that you're in, but at the base level, there has to be a certain amount of respect. And I think that we came to the conclusion of not being that kind of a show anymore. It wasn't even something that we talked about.
We've never been we want to catch anybody with something show. It's always been conversational and trying to, here's where we come from. Let's understand the folks that are on the other side. And we've talked to libertarians, Democrats, independents, Republicans. We've talked to people from everywhere from Janine Lee Lake to Jim Lucas have been on this show, and we've had a great time with all of them. Right? For the entire political spectrum has been a part of the Boss Hog Liberty community. And we come from it from a very libertarian mindset, drifting in and out of Libertarian Party politics and just into our own thought process and back and forth. But we've been very conversational with people across the entire gamut. And anybody that's been on our ballots or affects the people of our community has been in the conversation, essentially.
Always.
Our catch-all has been that we are anything that we find interesting. So we can do whatever the hell we want to on the show. That's the trick of it.
Yeah, I've always looked at it like getting people past the yard signs. When we have these elections and we have people that look for positions of power and issues that we have in our community, and then spreading the information that we get, whether it's from the people who are involved directly, any issue that we've had, the wind farms was a big thing, Doughboy was a big thing, things like that. All the
Thank
way
God
to,
we solved all those issues.
Right. But I
think it went on forever. I'm pretty sure that's when I tuned out of this episode. I was like, this stuff just keeps going.
This may or may not be breaking news, but I do know that the TransAlta, the current owners of the Big Blue River Wind Farm, they have sent letters to all the contract holders that say they're going to terminate the project completely, mainly due to public response.
The Big Blue Wind Farm project.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a formality, I would say.
But that's been an issue that we've had locally.
Yep.
That has been pretty big on this
for years.
This podcast.
So now can we officially say wind is dead?
Check
it's been pretty windy lately, though.
Right.
Don't tell an anti-wind person that, because they'll tell you it's never dead. It's interesting. Because of this show, I started going to city council meetings, and you get to know people.
We're the reason why you started going to city council meetings?
Yeah, I didn't have any interest before that. And I was like, I'll go see what's going on. And it's local politics is fascinating.
What are you running for, Zach?
Nothing. I can't run for anything yet. Still legally can't do anything. I can run for school board, but I don't go to school board meetings. So
it's nonpartisan.
It's the only one I could legally run for. But you meet people, and some of the people you see people online. It's a lot of keyboard cowboys, and they like to accuse everybody of everything. They say every politician's lying in their pockets. And if you go to meetings, you figure out that almost all of them care. I mean, there's some of them that I'm like, I don't know why
some
you're here.
feel more like seat fillers, and others feel like they're really trying.
Almost everybody that shows up to the meetings, they all care. They're trying to do something, and it helps. I think honestly, I feel more positive about my community seeing the people that are doing things. And some people I know I don't agree with them politically necessarily, or agree with everything they want to do, but I wouldn't necessarily vote against them because I know that they have ideals and they're sticking with them, and I trust them to make good decisions. We might not think the same things on everything, but yeah, so that's interesting. Yeah, but I started going to meetings just because of this show, and it's more people should, because they'd have a better idea of how their government works.
Yeah, I think that's something we've always said, is that people need to get involved in their local government just to get kind of an experience of it, because there is like it's not as like man behind the curtain as most people think it is. It's
definitely not on the local level.
Yeah,
Congress sucks, but at the local level,
on the local level where you can actually change shit. But I think we've made some, and I feel like we as in the party sense locally made a lot of influence and have made a lot, I don't think if we never pushed the idea of having cameras and stuff, I don't think that they ever would have done it. I mean, like COVID was a thing, but like before COVID, they were looking into it and they were working on it. COVID exacerbated
we have beat the drum for 4 years of getting high quality audio video equipment at every public meeting.
Yeah.
Now every politician, every elected official says, yes, we're doing it. Not there yet, but we've spent the money on the equipment.
Right.
It's imminent.
Yeah, I think you get to bump shoulders with these people. You kind of talk to them like off camera or off microphone or whatever, and and kind of get their real sense of who they are, and that's a pretty cool experience, and it kind of changes how I feel about them. But I don't know. Like it's cool that you actually started going because of the show, though. That's cool. That's a big win for you guys.
Producer Chris, what's memorable for you?
Let's see. 2 years ago, December 24th, I was in a garage in some shorts and a t-shirt.
This is a Patreon episode.
Yes, this is
the role.
Because you were talking smack.
Yes, and
American hero Chris Guffey.
I continue to talk smack, just not to his face. I learned my lesson.
So yeah, that's probably one of my favorite things. And then obviously getting me involved in local politics, very much like Zach. So much so that I actually ran for city council and you know,
Nearly won. Your life almost changed.
I know.
You couldn't live in Daleville.
I now think about it, and you know, in a weird way, I guess God had a different plan for me and pushing me somewhere else that I needed to be at the time.
Daleville.
The people of Delaware County need you. Daleville, a place you go to on purpose.
For Bird Smokehouse. That's it. Hey, we are getting a Starbucks.
That's
Well,
impressive.
Newcastle had one once. Let's see how long yours lasts.
Well, that's actually that's actually really. I mean, that's a pretty cool aspect of Newcastle. Actually, you guys suck and got a Walmart, but you guys did kick a Starbucks out, which is pretty cool.
They did jack everybody's property taxes evidently because they overpaid for their property and it ran up the estimates.
Oh,
And so
wow.
like everybody's property taxes went up for a few years. Yeah, we did run Starbucks out.
Aaron Dickin reminds us that we got involved with him when he tried to ban public smoking
In the park.
in the parks. And he got
In the park or just in general?
in public spaces in the park. And he got double barrels of Boss Hog, and it was a whole thing.
I mean, I'm still glad we can't smoke here, but not necessarily because of the law.
Now, smoking is one of my favorite Boss Hog Liberty moments, and I don't know if from the back porch if Zach caught this or not, but Dakota's going to remember it for me. Justin Stevens of Americans for Prosperity was on the show, and he forgot his laptop. And there was a time where after the show, we would still like each other, Dakota, and we would be social and would maybe have a beer on the back porch with your fiance, Audrey, back when you're dating that girl. And we maybe would smoke a cigarette or some sort of tobacco product, always tobacco products on the back porch. And he came back and he had forgotten his laptop. And we were like, yeah, the front door's unlocked. Come on in.
And because we're libertarians, he just assumed that it was never tobacco product.
He assumed he caught all of us smoking weed on the back porch. And I'm the world's worst libertarian because I've never touched it in my life. Literally never. Whatever. So, but it was hilarious because he was like,
I get drug tested by the feds.
yeah, it's not worth it.
No.
I can't find my job in Newcastle. I have to be the straight arrow.
You have to go to Delaware County.
Yeah, well, I mean, East Central Indiana. I've got randoms.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's one of my
Any other
memorable
customer
moments.
ones? Any other customer? But sorry, listeners.
Danny, your Aunt Martha has self-invited herself to a June event. She says she's going to be coming to town in mid-June and wants to come in here on that Thursday night, similar to what cousin
What's
Donnie
happening
did.
What's happening in June?
Oh, I'm getting married.
Danny's getting married again.
Danny is getting married. And
Oh, Danny's getting married.
Thank you.
Guess I didn't get invited. That's cool.
Well,
whatever.
It's tough, man.
This one's not at the Spiceland Friends Church.
Hey, Danny, none of these people realize how tough it is to plan for this.
nobody can also hear Danny, so you might need to
Because
swing
none
that
of us
arm
have
around.
ever gotten married.
No, not in this pandemic. Not during this pandemic. It sucked.
There's 3 people probably in here that were invited to the wedding, and I wish it was all of them. It's a tough time.
Oh, it is.
I think you've
That
made
sounds
tonight
like a
special
guy.
enough for everybody.
Yeah.
I think everybody's seen all they need to see of you tonight, and they're probably good.
Nope, they haven't. I tell you, they haven't.
All right.
Danny did send me a message this week asking about his wood before the podcast.
I think we've done enough tonight. I think we need to do
No,
final
time
thoughts.
out about the wood.
We need to do final
what
thoughts.
did you think about it?
If I'm not mistaken, I think I sent you a message back that said, your wood looks very good.
We're going to work our way into final thoughts. Producer Chris, 200 episodes. You're with us tonight. I don't know how many more we got you for, but we have you tonight. Thank you for being here. What do we need to cover?
Let's see. So, Kade's, I'm assuming it's your stepmom that runs the Kent and Christy Koger Facebook page?
Yeah.
Different family.
Oh, different family? Okay. Well, the real Koger farmer said we should include local business owners on episodes.
Right.
And that'd be great. Maybe we can get a real farmer in here someday.
Yep.
Hey, we had Craig Armstrong. I don't know what else you want.
Listen, we can't use that as the standard bar.
We had Mark Wenning. We had Craig Armstrong.
I see all those people.
We have Cade. Now we just need
Cade.
Jeff Poff, and it's complete.
No, I think you could just.
I don't think Jeff Poff can do radio.
You say you have an Armstrong? Did you do an Armstrong?
Yeah.
Is that the one out of Kennard?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say go down the list of like the farm people that get all the subsidies and just start talking about them. Because Armstrong gets a fuck ton.
That's all I got.
I don't know anything about it. I just know when I look at the list, Armstrong is on the list
At the top.
at the top.
Hey, all these farmers are what make me.
It's
me
in
money.
alphabetical order.
They pay my salary.
I
Jesse,
assure you, it was not in alphabetical order.
Jesse, what you've been plumbing this week? Is there anything else we need to know? Anything you got to promote?
Well, I was going to say, there's no
Last
wood.
time you sold
my
some
wood
stickers.
wasn't good, so I had my wood chipped and sent off. I had to cut
You
down
did
a tree
have a tree
last
cut
week.
down. You couldn't get IMPA to pay for it. You had to pay for it yourself.
IMPA would not pay for my tree. So if you live in the Nicetown area and there is a line coming from a pole to your house, you are responsible for that line. And that's bullshit. But
I don't think that's true.
not
I
true.
think you are the only one that bought. You didn't fight City Hall.
well, let's grab some shovels, some pitchforks, and some fire, and let's go to IMPA.
I work in this industry, and I'm telling you, I told you. it's
dude.
not
I
right.
know. Well, you want to come to cut? You should have come cut down my tree. I would have given you like $600. That would have saved me a lot of money.
You should have cut it down, let it hit the freaking power line, and called it good.
Well,
Walked away. Sorry, it fell.
I'm part cyborg, so I rely on a machine to sleep. So
You would have made a lot more than $600 if you had done that. I'm just telling you.
I know. Shh. It's all taken care of. I did have to plumb.
And poor Zach's brother wouldn't have a job
But he doesn't
because he
work
would
on that.
bankrupt the whole company.
Hey, if you were trying to take down a tree, you should have just got Danny's neighbor. She could have taken it down for you.
Nice.
Don't give Danny a microphone.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Zach, you got anything for us? We're going camping tonight. I'm going to be your
Oh my
neighbor.
gosh.
It's
It's
snowing.
snowing today, though. It is snowing. I looked out my window. I'm like, this is bullshit. It is snowing. This is the greatest April Fool's joke ever. It's spring and it's snowing. I know one of the things that popped up, we ran out of time because so many distractions, was like a dream episode. I think a great guy to have on here would be Doug Bowles. He kind of weaves in a bunch of stuff for us because he's worked in politics, he's worked at the track, and he does killer interviews.
I will preview that April 22nd, we have John Orovitz coming on the show, who's
Yeah.
formerly of ESPN. And if you want to talk about politics and motorsports, we are going to have the ultimate conversation with John. It's going to be. It's going to be about.
I'm not going to be here, so
It's going to be about. It's going to be about the Facebook status that that Zach made tonight, saying that the 1996 US 500 was the superior race.
when did I say that?
It's on your Facebook.
It's on your Facebook.
Oh, somebody was in here when I. That's what I was like. Ugh. I walked in, and I saw Guffey sitting at the computer. I was like, "Did I leave that thing logged in?" I haven't had to worry about it.
Not
for a
only
while.
that, so we made a post, and I said, make the post, and then unfollow the post so he doesn't get any of the notifications. So all that
there was
magic
a
can
lot
happen.
of complicity.
And then you
what
were
I get.
logged out of Facebook, which is probably why you weren't available anywhere, wherever it was.
Well, oh no, over there was somebody logged Dakota out, and there was somebody else logged in who I have never known in my entire. I was like, I don't know who this is and how she's logged in on this laptop, but no, yeah, just this show's been fun because I've gotten to meet without the show, I would never met people like
It was
Betsy
a woman
Mills
from the Henry County Chamber of Commerce.
I knew Aaron Dickin. Is that who that was? That was logged in on that?
Yeah.
And so yeah, meeting all the people that are local, like Betsy's awesome.
you never would have met Danny.
Oh, well, I'm going to do my, I don't drink, but I might go back to my camper and drink just to try and black out and see if I can, I don't know how many beers it'll take.
He's going to take a forget-me-not or two tonight and just get in a forget-me-not loop.
I'm
to forget this
just
whole
going to
thing.
try and forget April 1st, 2021.
I think I'm going to use like a neti pot and just drain my eyeballs.
You guys just experienced my entire
Childhood?
Yeah.
Well, explain so many
You
things.
got it. You just, you
You and your brother have more togetherness than my brother and I have, and
And you
we're
guys
twins.
shared a womb.
We shared a womb. Yeah, I didn't see that much of my brother.
I love it.
Kade, buddy. You get to ride home with him.
With Danny.
Ride home with them. I hope you grab the wheel.
It's a stick shift.
If you guys haven't seen, we're selling our beef down at 1000 Degree now. They've got a pizza named after us. It's the Rancher, and they've got a sandwich named the Cattleman. And then you can also get our products at Sparky's Doghouse and the Elks in Newcastle.
Elks 484.
Yep.
Some proud members at this table, by the way.
And then
If you haven't
selling,
joined yet, you probably should. Anybody that's listening.
we're still selling beef retail down there on 3 too. So if you need anything at all, we can get you set up. We're also selling quarter beefs now.
Well, wait a minute. Now, last I checked, you guys were out for like 19 months on beef. The cow I was going to buy wasn't even born
Listen,
yet.
it's everyone else's excuse. COVID had us set back. Again, we're hamstringed by the government with
You're
USDA.
beef stringed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
beef strong.
beef strong.
But we're caught up now. We've got stuff on hand
I can buy beef today.
today. Yeah.
That's what I want to hear.
Yep. So
That's what I want to hear.
buy local, support local.
All right. I hate to do this, but Danny, do you have any final thoughts?
I felt like he's had an entire episode of Final Thoughts.
No, I think no. I mean,
This looks very presidential.
It's very presidential.
I've had a solid night. I don't know what you want out of me. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought you got us in the first half.
I can take more clothes off.
I don't think you.
I don't think it's
I
necessary.
don't think
You were
it's
No,
down
I-
a bow tie, man.
I was gonna say, he technically can. He technically can. He could have taken off a bow tie.
In all honesty, Jared, I'm super proud of you. You guys have done good. Jared, Dakota, you've done awesome. You've wrangled.
One of the mics fell into-
Great.
This episode has this show has been about us learning about the community, but it's also been about a number of friendships and growing those on the show. So
Learning about the inner crevices.
you've
of a lot of
listened
us.
to Dakota and I.
Even though I wasn't,
Dakota learned to hate me over 200 episodes.
even though I wasn't invited to Danny's wedding.
This time.
And honestly, what I'm most proud of is Chris taking his wife's name.
That's the
And
thing
I
you're
feel like
taking away.
that's incredibly cool.
Thank you.
And I'm proud of you, buddy.
I love you.
Out of everything, I think that's the coolest thing.
Are you gonna take Josie's name? Are you gonna be Danny Thompson?
That's a pretty
No,
cool name.
There's no way I'm going to do that.
I want to know.
He has the Morrell family crest tattooed on his body.
I am actually going to
We
update
all
my
saw
phone with Danny Thompson right now.
I mean, above all else, Chris, that's super awesome. I mean that.
Dakota.
Thank you.
What do you got, buddy?
I'm happy we've made it to 200 episodes. Whenever we
Did you have any doubt?
Yes. When we started this podcast, I never would have thought that it would have gotten this far. Until I realized who I was getting involved in the podcast world with. Relentless SOB, who just doesn't quit. That's your brother. Yeah.
Dude,
We keep the train
He's
on
off
tracks,
of the
buddy.
mic, so we can't really hear him.
if there's ever a documentary, I'm going to be...
If there's ever a documentary,
Yeah, Danny would be good for the documentary.
I'm nervous to see what the hell he would say.
There was a couple of things that we didn't touch on that were in the show notes, and one of those things was like, what is our dream episode?
Zach touched on it. He tried.
Yeah, I tried.
Maybe I was distracted.
Yeah, he said Doug Holes. Doug Bowles. And I was saying there's a joke in there. If that guy didn't previously dig bowls, I don't know if he deserves the name Doug Bowles.
What I was going to say is that all of these episodes that I've been involved with have been fun. That's the number one thing that we strive to do with the podcast is make sure that we have a good time whenever we sit down at the table. Because if we're not having a good time whenever we do it, then it's going to show to the audience. And we want to make sure that us having a good time transfers well through the microphones and through the camera, and that you guys can feel like you're a part of the conversation. And I think that we've done a good job of that. And I really love where our audience is now. And I know that we've talked to other podcasters and stuff. They always ask about what numbers are you getting on your podcast downloads, and like where are your numbers at? How many views do your videos get? What about how does Fireside track your numbers and things? And neither one of us, we don't.
I will look at our numbers once every 3 to 4 months. That's not the driving factor for us.
We
get audience response. I got a message from a patron the other day saying that episode 197 with Billy Cardwell or 198 with Billy Cardwell was the best episode he had heard so far. That's all I needed to hear. If you get a handful of, yes, this was great, you guys were on point, you did a good job, that's all I need. That's all I need to hear. And it was even better. I don't think Dakota was on that one. So that's probably why they liked it, Jesse.
Yeah, probably.
Was I on it?
Yes. That was the financial episode.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I was like totally blanking too. I'm like, I have a hard time remembering names. And
What
stuff.
was his name?
Billy Cardwell.
Bill
Bill Cardwell.
I was just like, who? But yeah, Billy, forgot. Yeah. Billy
It was
a great
2 weeks ago. Maybe 3 weeks ago.
No, it wasn't. It was like 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks
2
ago.
weeks ago was
It was like four, it'd been like 4 almost.
yeah,
At
it's
this point.
crazy. Anyway.
Time flies.
The overall reaching point is that I'm really happy with our audience, and I'm happy where the podcast has ended up, to where we're not trying to do something to gain listeners anymore. That's not what we're doing anymore.
We're not trying to book guests that have reach to create reach for us.
Right. And I'm happy with our audience the way it is. If more people want to start listening, that's great. But I want to make sure that they mesh well with the community that we've created. And that's important to me.
Yeah. It's always a conversation, and there are folks that have the opinion of, well, the show needs to go in this direction or the show needs to go in that direction. And as long as the folks that are in this room are on the same train and we like the way it's going and we enjoy doing it, then you're going to get a great podcast. I feel like that's the way it works.
And also, we should say that it's 200 episodes, and Jeremiah is the only person in the room that's been here for every single one of them.
Yeah, I have. I'll probably be on 201 as well.
He said that it was a few weeks ago. He was like, I'm not going to be able to make it for Thursday, so we can either skip the week or you guys can do it without me. And it was like, no, that's not happening.
Skipping that one.
Did you try to do that for like April Fool's?
No, yeah, it was snowing. No, I don't remember. I think I just threw out there, hey, there's a certain day that I wasn't gonna be able to make happen, so y'all could do either way. You're welcome to do a show without me. It's very possible. Dakota knows how to do it. He's done plenty of stuff without me.
Well, this is a secret.
He secretly runs the show.
I think it was 2 years ago. I was reading a lot of philosophy books and really getting into Stoic philosophy a lot. And I was like, man, I could do a podcast on this because my brain's filled with all this information. I have no one to talk to it about. So I thought, I'm going to create a podcast by myself. And it's going to be like because whenever I wake up in the morning, I read a little excerpt from Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor. And I thought,
he's still podcasting?
Yeah, he's immortal.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm going to create this. I'm going to create a podcast in what I read every day and how I think about it. I'm going to call it The Daily Stoic. I was like, this is a brilliant
I feel like this already
idea.
exists.
So you remember this. I started taking home the producer mic and the Zoom recorder. And after we got done with the podcast every week, I recorded like 5 episodes in my closet. I would wake up, I'd go in my closet because it was the best sound that I could get in my house. And
it was before you guys had these mics, though.
It was with these mics.
I thought you guys had the condensers.
And
Anyway,
I was like, this is great. And then I'm like, how should I publish this? So I'm like, I'm going to reach out to a philosophy influencer on Instagram and see if I can make this happen. And so I sent this long message to a dude and on Instagram about my idea. And I sent him the 5 episodes. And he's like, hey, man, don't want to shoot you down too hard, but there's already a podcast called The Daily Stoic that does the exact same thing that you're doing. And it's hosted by Ryan Holiday. And I'm like, Ryan Holiday? I've read like 4 of his books on Stoicism. Like, this is a famous guy. And it was really disappointing. I don't even remember where I was going with the story. Oh, the podcast I tried to do by myself was a total failure, so we're not trying that again.
I have no intentions of doing a podcast by myself either, man. I call you my forever co-host for a reason. This has been fun. It's been fun looking back and also looking forward. The question was what's your favorite podcast you've done? And we've done some really fun ones, but next week's my favorite. The next one's always fun, and there's a Saturday Night Live feel to it. You watch a documentary and you hear about Saturday Night Live, and they have no idea how they're pulling together the next episodes the next week. This week it was me asking Dakota at 4 o'clock, hey, dude, where the hell are my show notes at? Do I have to cobble them together or do you have it? And he had me covered. It was good. They were good. But there is a little bit of chaos to making the show happen every week as well. And that's fun.
Always.
And we find a way to answer the bell and make it happen.
It's the perfect balance of chaos and order.
Yep. And we know, hey, listen, as far as in the Boss Hog world right now at this moment, 2 of the next 3 guests are booked. So it is high cotton. With that, we thank you all very much. We're looking forward to episode 201 and beyond. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Boss Hog of Liberty, which is part of the We Are Libertarians Network. I am Chris Spangle, and I am the founder of this network, and I invite you to listen to all of our shows, which you can find at wearelibertarians.com or by searching for these in your podcatcher. The flagship show is the We Are Libertarians podcast, where we apply libertarian principles to current events. The Brian Nichols Show is a conversation amongst Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Independents, as they talk about what is happening in the news. And we have many other podcasts like The Chris Spangle Show, Upward, The Cost, Raw Audio Politics, Miranda's World, and Tad Talk, which is quite a ride. So check all of these out. Go to wearelibertarians.com and you can check out all of our great podcasts. Thanks for listening. Thank you for listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Get our other shows at wearelibertarians.com. Confused about the news? If you want to sound smarter when talking with your friends, our mission at the We Are Libertarians Podcast Network is to inform you about the world in an independent and irreverent way. We take current events far more seriously than we take ourselves. Get all 9 of our shows at wearelibertarians.com or in any podcast app by searching for We Are Libertarians.
Do you need an escape from the average, predictable, stressful environment you can't pull your head out of? Subscribe to On the Run with Remzo W. Martinez. From discovering how to take bold steps to become freer sooner than later, to obscure and wild topics sure to expand your view of the world, twice a week you'll go on an audio adventure where you'll think hard and laugh harder. Listen to On the Run with Remzo W. Martinez, part of the We Are Libertarians Network.